All right, so I wanted to kind of make my own DIY rinse kit. I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on an off-the-shelf one, then I ended up spending more money on these parts than I expected. So it might not be worth it, but we're gonna make it anyway. I've seen people do this online, pretty much doing the same thing they are, a couple different changes. This is really for when he goes outside and gets all muddy in the winter months when I don't have a hose hooked up outside. Taking on the boat is kind of like a freshwater wash down, or in the truck with me when we go hunting and he gets a mess and I can clean him up before I put him in the truck. So this is just a 12-volt water pump off Amazon, really cheap. This is a 20-volt to 12-volt step-down converter to use for a DeWalt battery. This is a through-tank bulkhead I got on Amazon, way cheaper than Lowe's or some of the other box stores. Just a plug to plug this, so when I'm transporting it, water isn't splashing out everywhere. Some hose from Lowe's, a lid from Lowe's, this PVC, which I initially was going to get. This is garden hose thread. I initially was going to get a converter to accept this in the bucket, so the hose is always straight down to the bottom of the bucket. But Lowe's said it was in stock and I got there and it wasn't, so that frustrated me. So now I think I can just thread this in here. I might just use some 3M 4200 and seal it up. This isn't like a real plumbing application, so it should be fine. I got some hardware because I don't know if they're just regular like wood screws these basically come with are going to be okay in this lid. And oh, and then this screen to put at the bottom. This probably isn't necessary. I just don't want any chance of the pump intaking anything that could mess it up. So I'm just going to put this at the bottom of the PVC and try and help filter it a little bit. So it shouldn't take too long to throw together. My biggest concern is getting it all on the lid because I want it all to be mounted to the lid, but we'll see how it goes. And then one other thing I forgot to mention, I got this just coiled up self-retracting hose. Commonly you see these on like wash down systems on boats, but I might have to cut this a little bit, and it came with a spray nozzle and everything, so that should be nice just to sit on the ledge of the bucket on the side over here. I'll cut the one fitting off on the end and just hose clamp it directly to the outlet of the pump. So, yep, I'll link this down below as well. All right, bit of an update here. I had to run a TSV quick to get some longer hardware because I put a wood block right here and some lock nuts underneath. Sir. So I had these, actually already had these long bolts from something, but I went and got some lock nuts for underneath, put a piece of wood here just to save space on the top, and then drilled out this through hole for the bulkhead. Made this an inch. I just went in reverse with one of these bits, really kind of carefully so I didn't splinter the rest of the bucket. And this doesn't fall right through, but it's so close, I'm just going to thread it through to even seal it up and keep it tight in there a little bit better. Then once I get this mounted, the pump wired up, I'm going to figure out kind of the best place for the pump, probably right about there. But yeah, pretty simple. So I cut this at 13 inches. I'm probably going to trim it down a little bit more. We'll see how it fits in the bucket, or if I can get this threaded all the way up. It's already really tight. I didn't use any 3M 4200, but I had to put it in the vise in order to twist it on here. So this is 1 inch, just regular PVC, and I think it's going to be on there forever once I get this threaded on. Well, I guess that's how you connect 3/4 garden hose thread to 1 inch PVC. Cause that ain't ever coming off. All right, I put some holes down towards the bottom of the PVC here where the hose is going to be down at around the mesh, just to let some more water in. I don't know if it's going to do anything. I figured I'd do it while I was building it. Here's the stainless steel 20 mesh that I got off of Amazon to kind of make a makeshift sediment debris filter so nothing gets sucked into the pump. If I were to do this again, I don't think that I would do this part. I think it's kind of unnecessary, but I had it, so I did it. I might take it off. We'll see. All right, here's the final look before I put it in the bucket. All right, that's a wrap on the DIY rinse kit. Probably could have found one on Facebook Marketplace, probably for $100 or so. So it's up to you if you want to build one or buy a used one. But I think it's pretty cool. A couple things. I got this pump specifically because it has a cutoff pressure switch at 80 psi, so it doesn't keep running and building pressure and burn out the pump. If you're going to use a Milwaukee or DeWalt battery, that's 20 volts. Make sure you get a step down. I mounted mine on top of each other. I'm not too worried about heat in this heat sink with that wood being on top. I'm not going to use it enough for this to actually ever get hot. This is pretty tight in here. I don't really see myself ever pulling it out. I'll probably just pop the lid off to fill it, but I do have this plug in case I'm traveling a long distance and I really want to make sure nothing splashes out. But it works pretty well. You just flip the switch on, builds pressure, kind of pulses to keep it at that 80 psi cutoff switch. Sprays nicely. Plenty of pressure for what I need. Get the coil hose. It's definitely worth it because you can walk out as far as you need. It still comes right back up to the bucket. One other thing, make sure when you put the hose onto the pump, you cut the right end. You don't have to go buy a male garden hose to male garden hose adapter like I just had to. So, but yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll answer them the best I can. Thanks. One other thing that I just realized, which may change what you do if someone watching is going to build this, the handle barely goes over this kind of little stacked up setup I have with the 2 amp hour DeWalt. So if that really matters to you, I don't think it matters to me that much. Not like I'm hauling it in and out of the woods or anything, but you might want to mount everything to the lid and not have them stacked here.